Testing, testing, Twitch. Testing, testing, Twitch. Testing, testing, YouTube. Sorry, testing, testing, YouTube. Good enough. Alrighty. So I'm gonna work on the. Actually, let's just talk regularly. Transition. Okay, so I had a bit of a revelation recently. Not revelation. I had some help. So, I have this game, the Platform Fighter, and what happens in the Platform Fighter is I got this laptop so I could take the Platform Fighter and like have it go to locals, like Smash locals, and test it. So what ended up happening was that this computer I got, I thought it was like way too weak. What is that? I thought it was like way too weak, because it didn't like every time you hit somebody, the frames would drop like crazy, like 50. It would go from like 60 to like 40, 30 maybe. So there'd be this huge hitch every single time you hit actually connected with somebody. And I was spending like literal months trying to figure I couldn't bring this to anybody. Um I couldn't talk about any of this like or like sorry, I couldn't like bring the game to anybody because it kept having this hitch, this lag. It made it unplayable. I even had playtests with like some old like brawl players that I knew, and like I couldn't play it for long because like it just um didn't work. So YouTube's good. Yeah, so it didn't work, and like what can you do? Um, I just went anyway, and I didn't really get anything out of it, and it caused so many problems. So I thought, like, what could possibly be causing all these problems? And I tried everything. I thought it was the big scare was I was using Godot. I moved from Godot to Unity, and Unity doesn't really have this problem. Like, I'm literally reusing assets from Aces Under the Moonlight, and Aces Under the Moonlight has no problem. It does not hitch when this happens. I use the same code basically. If anything, it's a little more optimized. But I kept like I kept looking for stuff it could be. I thought it was like the logic of, when you hit somebody, it has to do a bunch of detections, like collision detections, and it has to go through a bunch of lists and stuff. I thought it was so many things. I thought it was like maybe the animation was causing a problem. Like I thought there's so much that goes into one frame, and I thought, oh, well, maybe they can't handle one frame. I thought well, big one. I thought it was the calculation. Like when you actually hit somebody, it has to calculate the knockback, and I thought that was too intensive, even though it's like a very basic calculation. It's like some multiplication and division. Um, but what it actually was the VFX. Is because I stacked three VFX together. I had what was it? It was the same thing that Ace Done of the Moonlight used when when you hit the ball. It has like three VFX that are just like stacked on top of each other. Um, and so they're called separately, and then they're instantiated separately, and then they're added separately. And it works as long as you only add one VFX element, and then it works fine on both computers. Um, but then what ended up happening was that like on my laptop there was still a problem, even though like the problem was gone on my big computer because a big computer would go from like 60 to sometimes it would go to like 55 maybe. But now with only one VFX thing, it was 60 the whole time. I took that to the laptop and it didn't uh what's the word? It still didn't it caused problems still. Like I don't understand what the issue is. I was so mad about it. And then I looked at the it has this sort of hub that lets you see NVIDIA hub that lets you see what's being used by your GPU at the moment. And it turns out there was something still being used, like the game uses the GPU, but there was something that's still being used by the GPU, which was the Elgato camera hub. So what I was doing with the Elgato camera hub was that I was trying to um what's the word? Yeah, so the Elgato camera hub lets you change your phone into a camera, like a webcam, so you can use like the high quality camera. But I tried it, and the free version has a watermark, so I decided not to use it. Um, but I left it on my computer. But for some reason, every time the computer turned on, even if Elgato Camera Hub wasn't there, it was still being used by the CPU. So every time I turned on my game, it would also use the CPU and it would like use both. So there would be constant problems between them. So even when the game's running normally, even when I optimize it, it still just causes constant frame drops everywhere, including when you hit somebody. So uh what happened? Right. So I just uninstalled that and it worked fine. Um it was so annoying because it was like that was like a year of like trying to figure out what was the problem. And it's because of this thing I didn't even use anymore, but I left on my computer. But that's like part one. The part two was that I didn't get to I didn't want to just use one VFX for this project because in Unity this isn't a problem. So I thought this was like a Godot problem because there's a thing called add child when you can instantiate it and it instantiates it, but it doesn't add it to the tree. Yeah, it doesn't add it to the actual game until you use add child, and that's slow apparently. That was a big problem. And so what I did there was like, like I don't want it to be like this because I want the freedom to use as much VFX as I want. So this is where I had like I was stumped. I want to get three VFX in there because that's how I want it to look. But it 100% causes hitches. It causes completely unplayable inside in the laptop. And even on this big beefy computer that I'm using right now, it causes massive frame drops. I'm talking like 20 frames per second when you use all three in Godot. Um, so I went and asked all my friends who are programmers, and one's a game designer. No, sorry, an engine programmer. And what ended up being the case was that the file for the VFX, the texture, it ends up being a texture, was 7 MB. All of them were 7 MB, because of like frame by frame animations. And um, they were like 7,000 by 7,000 pixels across. And you can't do that. You can't just like pop those in and pop those out for VFX, right? And that's it causes way too many problems. One is fine, three is not. So thing is that what Unity did was that it automatically made what they called MIP maps, which was like or me maps. I don't know what they're called. Which is basically like they create smaller versions of the texture so that they can use it at different zoom levels, and they can so it's like they compress it so they can then scale it, and it's easier to work with a smaller file. But for some reason, I didn't know how to do that with Godot. It happens automatically in Unity, but I don't know how to do that with Godot. So what I ended up doing is I just took the files that were in Godot. They were copies anyway. The source file is somewhere else. I took that and I just made them really small because these are like temporary anyway. These are for Ace Son of the Moonlight. They're not for this game, so whatever. I just made them smaller. I scale. I when I actually put them in the platform fighter, it what's the word? Uh, yeah, when I put them in the platform fighter, and they're like when they're created, I have them. What's the word? I scale them right then and there. So you have a 7,000, like three 7 MB files, and then I just scale them down to like 1/10 of their original. So literally like 7,000 file that they has to immediately shrink to 700 pixels. So I just made it 700 pixels, and it caused no problems with all three of them. It doesn't cause problems in the other one either, in the laptop. So now I know a bunch of problems because there's also another problem with the game. The stage is literally one big picture. It's not cut up like Aces Under the Moonlight is. And that's file is like absolutely enormous. So normally if you're not showing the entire picture, if you're not showing the entire background, it's fine. But if you go to the edge and you have to zoom out and render the entire picture, the laptop chugs even worse than the VFX one. Like it can get down to like single digits, and it never gets better. It doesn't like somehow make itself better. So I gotta figure out a way to like cut it to pieces and then use it. So luckily, big change. Now I know the problems. Now I know the solutions. So I can just solve it when I develop the platform fighter, and I can actually take it out to people, and have them play it finally in a workable state. Oh, that was like a big weight off my shoulders because I really need to get this to like people to play it because I missed MomoCon. MomoCon, I wanted people to play it, but they couldn't play it um because it still hitched. It still lagged heavily. So I couldn't have them play it. I tried, didn't work, so I never tried again the rest of the weekend. Sucks. Because I think that'd be more popular than Aces Under the Moonlight because it's a platform fighter. Um what else happened? Hmm. Well, I did go to MomoCon 2025 this time. It was better than MomoCon 2024. Well, it was better in a couple ways. I went to MomoCon, and then what happened was that I don't know. I got older. I got fatter. I got less healthy, like less more out of shape. But I couldn't handle like the walking. I couldn't handle the walking, the carrying. Like it was bad. What was happening was that I was moving. We had to go to the Georgia World Conference Center, and this thing is huge. And we kept going around the what's the word? We kept going around the exhibit halls, which are like in the center, and that takes like 20 minutes to get to where we need to go, and then you have to wait in lines and stuff because everyone's like funneling in. Uh, the problem, what ends up happening though, what's the word? Was that it turned out we didn't have to walk across it. We could cut through the exhibit hall, and we just didn't know. Like, and we didn't know until like the end of Saturday. Man, our feet hurt so badly. Um, I brought a friend. I say like we an hour. Like I brought a friend with me this time. Uh, he's been helping me with the marketing. So so that was like, and then also when we actually got there, it was so like like I don't know what happened last time. I don't know if I had like a carpeted floor or something, or I was just more used to being on my feet. My feet were killing me. Like, and I wasn't like I guess because we didn't really get to sit down. All our seats were there for the users, for the customers or the attendees, I guess is the word. And what we would do, what would we do? Um, in a MomoCon with the attendees, we would just be standing there, and like our feet would hurt so badly. I didn't want to look bad by like sitting down and being sort of uninterested. You have to actually, be a salesman about stuff. So I was trying to bring people in as much as I could to MomoCon, uh, or sorry, not MomoCon, to the booth. And a big problem was like I got because my friend was there and he could handle the booth. Um, I could go around and look at other places. He went around and looked at other places, and he told me about how like my booth lacked presence compared to everyone else's, and he was right. It doesn't have like that like if you look at it from a distance, it looks kind of empty. A lot of people had two tables, so they could like fill out their booth. It looked more professional. Um, what and or a lot of people had like full full displays, tons of different merch and stuff. And I had my posters, that I had before, because I didn't get enough time to make a new poster. But it wasn't quite enough. You could see from a distance didn't really compare. A lot of people really go all out with these for even for the uh indie game stuff. So yeah, I think that's a good thing to think about next time. I really had to find a way to get a more presence to my booth. Um, but back like to the my feet hurt thing, man. I went on Saturday was really busy. Thursday and Friday were not, so I was a little worried. I was already like in horrible pain on Thursday because of how much I had to walk and I wasn't used to it. Friday wasn't much better, but Friday was very low for us. We didn't like get anybody Friday. Um, Saturday was so so many people. We were like constantly basically when we would bring people in and onboard them, and as soon as they get out, more people came in constantly over and over and over. Now, so we were constantly like going in, and I was yelling all the time because you can't hear anything and have to tell people about the game over and over. So it was so much, man. It was so hard. Um, it got to a point where like I don't know what happened like last year at MomoCon when I was done with the vendors hall, I would go around. and look at everything else. Um, but this time I was like, we were so tired. We both like just wanted to go home and go to sleep and just be done with it. And even though we just did that, we just went to Momocon, did the vendors hall, closed at 7, and then we left. We went back to the hotel and we just went to sleep basically. And we still woke up late. Like even though that's all we did, we woke up late. Or even if we woke up early, we were so slow to get out and get to Momocon and drag all our stuff there. It's man, I gotta like really get the what's the word? I really gotta get the process down for like the stuff we're gonna bring and the stuff we're not gonna bring, stuff we're gonna leave at the table. And we need a better box. I have this box, this rolling crate. It was really great, but it just wasn't enough. I need to get like onto actual uh booth artists or like convention artists and see what they get. There's these people who have these giant rolling suitcases. Not suitcases, just giant rolling boxes, open boxes. And I think what I wanted to do, hey man, I don't know what that name is. NBYF. Hey man, yeah. So I was just talking about Momocon, where what's the word? Yeah, so people have these convention artists have these like what do we call it? It's like this rolling truck, I guess, a little truck. You have like a hey, last Gogeta. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I was just talking about Momocon. So yeah, we the big rolling crates they have, so they can carry all their stuff. I have just a box, basically. I have a box, and it's not a big box. It doesn't even carry like the prints in it. It's too small. So I gotta get those if I'm gonna keep doing this convention stuff because I don't know. First of all, I have to get in shape. I was thinking of buying a. This is a standing desk. It actually switches between standing and rising. I can do it. Um, so I can get like a treadmill. You can get these treadmills so you can have them on under your standing desk, and while you work, you can like walk. I really gotta get back in shape because I gained like 20 pounds. I'm it's really bad. I've been losing my jawline. I normally have a very sharp jawline, but it's going away now. Like I really gotta get back in it. Um, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. Um, Ka came up with a bunch of marketing ideas. One of them was mm, a suggestion box. Yeah, so yeah, yeah. So you got this suggestion box. It's empty now, but this was actually very successful. Um, so basically, we gave them at the end of the when they played, they wanted to leave. We gave them this index card so they can give us some criticism, and they all did it surprisingly, or not all of them. But like most people will do it. They'll give you criticism. And a lot of it was useful, but like there were some things about second. So there were some things about oh, you should definitely make shorts for TikTok with your key moments. Your stuff's sick. Yeah, I really got to get back on TikTok. I what's the word? I really fell off TikTok. It sucked. I used to get like at least a couple thousand views, but now I get a couple hundred. I think I gotta like be more consistent about it. Um, it should be coming though. Thanks though. Thanks for liking my stuff. I'm trying to reevaluate the marketing as well because I don't the shorts I put on you on TikTok are just the YouTube shorts. I don't think about them as like different, but you kind of should. Like how is your like what's your strategy going to be because like on TikTok my channel is basically shorts. It's basically shorts and then second place is live and then I think third place is is videos. So um so right now like these I had some new videos. They're not really like working that well anymore because like my channel's not used to recommending videos. Um but I generally have an idea of what people like in YouTube Shorts generally, but TikTok is like totally different. So I gotta figure that out, and I gotta do way more. That's a major one. Um, because I think I was kind of having that problem. If you look at my TikToks and Shorts originally, like way more early on, they were way more edited. They were basically videos, like completely custom videos for those shorts, but they were so hit and miss. Like they got some good some traction, maybe they didn't. It it got to a point where like I can either like keep doing this and hope one of them hits or do a lot of them. Or do like more lower quality ones. Uh, and so I ended up doing like the what ends up happening is like stream highlights usually is what I have. But then sometimes I'll make a custom short. So that's kind of the strategy going forward. Or not going forward. That's what strategy has been for a while. So, like what I just talked about with this programming issue I had, this lag issue, I was gonna make that like a I don't think I can make that short. I was gonna make that a video. So that's how I was gonna deal with it. Um, but yeah, it's different. I've been watching a lot of videos of like what works on TikTok, what doesn't work on TikTok, and I guess like it really it depends. Yeah, just keep grinding, man. You got a good soul. Thank you. Yeah, you just gotta keep grinding. You gotta keep do. That's fundamentally like I have a consistency problem. Like with live, like I should have been doing this every day. You know, I should be doing this every day. Speaking of what I should be doing, I'm going to start drawing. Let me get back to the drawing. Uh, yeah. Let us transition. All right. So I'm going to be I'm working on the what is this called? The character art, and the character art for A Son of the Moonlight for this new character Rek. He's a these are like more like battle poses, I guess. I'm not really battle poses. Battle pose. Let me get the actual pose here. So if I right, so this is it's yeah the like I'll say it's battle poses. This is the character select when you start when you're just looking for the character, and this is the for Cassandra. They have a like very different expression to them, right? They're not very like fun, you know. Like if you look at Charlie here, this is about as serious as you see him in the game. Because this is his windscreen. This is when the game ends, so you can kind of see like it's a different vibe. And same thing here. This is Cassandra before. This is after when she wins. So I wanted to keep that like separate vibe because this is basically the only time they have these sort of expressions. He's like way more extreme here. So I'm not actually sure what I want to do with his head. So like you see, you have this like look to him, but maybe I like don't. Oh, hang on, the lines up. I don't want him to have this sort of like you see his face, his eyes. Like maybe you just like see the like deep shadows. Like something like this. I have to like really deep in the shadows here. for this look to work. Um, that's kind of dumb. Yeah, I think you need like a really, really deep shadow. It's kind of like, yeah. All right, so maybe like this whole thing will be like thrown into darkness. If you remember stuff like Solid Snake and what's it called? Um, yeah, Solid Snake. Yeah, it looks okay. He in PlayStation 1, he doesn't have eyes in the model. They just have this sort of like, right, he has this bandana here. Not bandana, whatever it's called. Um, and it doesn't show his eyes. In the concept art it's there, but like in game, I guess they couldn't really have that sort of fuck, what's the word? Fidelity. So uh they kind of they went with the stylized look, and I really like it. Now, no, it's fine. It's not difficult to change this into this. I mean, that looks fine too. Um, but yeah, but I might change the lighting here as well. So the main thing I have these up is because I have to remember like the detail level. So if you look at a, let me get an animation frame pulled up. Okay, dang it, I have to actually go all the way here. This is Cassandra. So if you look at the animation frames, um, I'll get to it. But idle, spike, idle, run, reject, presentation, parry, idle. Okay, there it is. So if you look at the animation frame here, there's actually way more color detail in the animation frame than in this full illustration. So in the illustration, you have like uh here in the sprites, you have a bunch of mandated colors. So you have see who wears the most. Okay, right here, the jacket. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Here, you have the jacket. So the jacket will have a base color. So this sort of, I don't know, purplish. And then you'll have a shadow, obviously. You'll have a base shadow. And then you'll have a halftone. And then you'll have a lighter highlight. And then you'll have a super highlight, right? So it's base, shadow, halftone, and two highlights. So it's five for him, or for one sprite. But if you look at this, there's like there's no halftone. There's one, two, and then the highlight color, and those are the main ones. It's just typically a 3-1. And in these though, I add like some special material stuff. So if you see, there's like this reflective material around the whole thing. Generally, more reflective on actual reflective materials like these leather gloves. But it goes around the whole thing. That's supposed to be like an atmospheric effect. And you see it basically. It's almost like a second light. And then you have another atmospheric effect on the left over here. So this has like, I think it only has four. No, it only has five. But in general, it's not much of a it generally doesn't have that detail everywhere. It's just a sort of general. The main thing is that it has a bunch more shadow detail. Like the shadows are more um, drawn in properly. There's more detail to the art in general. Like there's way more detail in the cloth here. There's more detail in these this bullet belt Not that much more detail on the roller skates, but yeah, that's kind of the deal here. So you could think of it like this is the final design, basically, even though I should be doing a little bit more detail. And the sprite is an adapted design for its to make it work at like a distance and make it like workable to do to animate. I think the best one actually I shouldn't have used this. I should have used Charlie because Charlie has like the biggest, where is it? Biggest like straight up change. Idle right here. Okay, there he is. And where is da 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 da. Okay. So the biggest change is that those are his actual laces. That is how his shoes look. And I ain't drawing that shit for over 100 frames, so this is what we get. Absolutely not. So I just draw them up here once. That's how that works. I think that's about, yeah, that's about it. In terms of the biggest detail change. Da, 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 da. So I think right here we'll just look through here and start. Before I like finalize this, I have to finalize the colors here. So I'm just gonna do a sort of a pass to see how the lighting is gonna work. Um, because I want his to be more extreme. So like the light, maybe like I think you want more extreme is you also want extreme exposure. So one second. I think I will add here. This will make like the shadow the deep dark shadows make sense if you have highly exposed light and then you'll have like everything else thrown into shadow. But is that like the look you want to go for? Maybe. Maybe not. And this looks like he's painted a different color. So uh I think I might need two. I might need two because extreme lights like this will have like a fall off. So like you'll have, yeah, like this, and there'll just be general like this fall off. Um, and so yeah, so you see kind of like it's gonna be a problem because if I don't get this everywhere at once, it's not the effect doesn't go. So what can we do here? I can just try this. Highly saturate this sort of half tone thing. So like there's like one giant rock star spotlight on this guy. And you know what? I don't like this. But before that, I'm just gonna copy that layer just in case. I'm gonna start messing with the colors here. So I don't wanna in case I mess up. So like here. I might have to look up some reference. Cause it's if I'm gonna throw everything into shadow, I need to like think through it. It's gonna be cold, first of all, because the shadow is gonna be hot. Um, maybe I think like this lighting. Hmm, oh, maybe. And then up here is gonna be a thing. I'm gonna have to think this a little bit through. Um, yeah, first of all, that wouldn't make sense. Why would that be? Would that be like in light? Um, think I have to consider the light and shadow parts of the image, like just breaking it down into just light and shadow. How much light, how much shadow? I think. Hmm. Let me look up something. There he is. So no. I'm looking up some reference. Hmm. Some KNKL reference. We needed like a lighting pass here. Hmm. So maybe don't so we can do this two ways. So we can overexpose the lights, and that will give us a very strong artistic lighting effect. Or we can like heavily darken the shadows, which I think is a better idea because you can see more of the character. Um, so I think I'll do that. So we can still like see detail on the character. Um, maybe over here. Oh no, we gotta check. Uh, yeah, okay. So a little more normal. And I think I'm going to more heavily shadow this. Oh, oops. That's not good. I think I'll just just do this. Oh, this is fine. This is fine. Because I can just delete all of this. Alright, so it's heavily shadow this whole thing, and this is how you're gonna make every lighting effect. It's just gonna change lights and shadows and maybe highlights. And I think I'm going to need a much stronger. This isn't like the final yet, so I'm not going to put everything in a layer. I have the base layer, and then I can just paint on top of it, and that color doesn't look right. That should be more desaturated, like that. Um, Typically when lights are gonna go higher, more lighting, it'll be less saturated. So if you make one that's more saturated randomly, it starts to look weird. I don't know how to describe it, but it starts to look like I don't like tinny. I don't. That's how like you would describe like a sound, but it's just that's how it feels like when you look at it. So, hmm. Let's start with the shadows. I'm more used to starting with shadows, so like let's give it hard contrast. I like this giant. I might throw like half of this character into shadow. Uh into deep shadow. Hmm. Cause problems. But it does make it a little more artistic. Like to see like now we're getting to like this big spotlight. I think that was it's a little better this way. Um we have like this giant spotlight on this character by darkening literally every this one strong direction. So we're gonna keep doing this. This working. I think this is the major thing. And like you can add reflective light. I'll be adding quite a bit of reflective light so you can see more of it and it's not just black. But um, right now I won't. So one thing about spotlighting that you can really use and really indicative of spotlighting is cast shadows. Like these long cast shadows, like this is the long cast shadow. Um, so I'm gonna see like I'm gonna show the cast shadow. I'm gonna show there's a big cast shadows going on his like his leg right here. So from all of this stuff, I'm just gonna abstract it and say like this. You know, I'm gonna say that's the big shadow, something like that. Like the shape is gotta you gotta consider like shape and how much light and shadow there is. Like maybe this doesn't look too good, and this first of all should be like this. Um, maybe it should be like that, and then there's one like here, and that's but it doesn't really make much sense. So like what's but maybe it doesn't have to make sense. Maybe it can be like really weird. I can get really weird with it. Um, thing about uh, what are these called? Cast shadows is that they're generally pretty sharp, or they're very oddly shaped. You can like bring quite a bit of artistry to it. Um, a lot of times you don't want them though, you know. I might just like do this whole thing though. Like I'll have this. This might be a little better to have like these things. These yeah the sweater he has in the back, that cause shadow, and this whole side just be thrown into darkness. Um, that might be a little better. Uh so oh, I gotta put this over here too. I'm gonna actually make this much darker right here because it's covered in. It's like light doesn't really get in there. I might make that a little bit darker. Um, so gotta think about my next move here. I think. Oh well, first of all, let's run the base a little. This is different. It's a lot more saturated now because this has become sort of a half tone, and that is shade. I don't want that. So like in general, he's darker. And then we'll give him like a. I don't know what I want to do with this the shape of this hand right now, but I can say it's like that. Um. All right. I think. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Share. I'm gonna put on one of her songs. Mm, okay. A classic artist needs to find a 5-hour video while working on a drawing. Okay, come on. Oh my god, please. All right. Nope. There we go. All right. So, oh yeah, okay. So let's. I can't really find a reason to not do this. Have this like guitar not be like be in shadow. So I'm gonna highlight it by putting everything behind it in shadow, and that makes sense. So generally, you really only need about like three values. I added an extra one here. So you have one highlight or one light. This is now like an average, like a halftone ish. Typically, and this is the highlight. So typically, what I have is two highlight colors, because highlight's really important to. Oh man, the lighting changed. Highlights really important to the material, and typically our eye looks for highlights. So I like to give more detail to the highlights. Um, let's see. The problem is like I don't draw like this anymore. I have like a bunch of different stuff now. This is like 2 years ago now, 3 years ago now. I've completely changed my art style. This art style is already kind of like I'm just trying to get something done. Sorry, this one is. This is already like I'm trying to get something done. I want it to look good, but it only has to look a little bit better than the game. Um, and mostly it's that the actual form line work detail is carrying this stuff. Not so much like the shading. So hmm, line work. So I gotta like tone it back a bit because I know I don't have that many tools to work with. I have like three colors and mostly line work. So I'm like really like I'm not I don't want to add like a bunch of highlights everywhere like here. Like you start to look oiled up. It might make him look sweaty though. That might be good. Actually, you know what? It shouldn't be like that. I might do it. I might do it. I might have to deal with like some the harshness kind of makes it look weird, but for like men, doesn't look that bad. Like for women, typically you have like this very nice highlights here that make their skin looks really really good. So I think for men, this harsher sort of look maybe. Um, that also looks good for him. Also, I want to like carve in these muscles. He doesn't actually look as muscular as I want him to be. He's supposed to be like this gigantic Mortal Kombat muscle man who looks like he can kill you. Okay. Let me see. This does like you can see like it's super pulls focus up here. Obviously because there's like no detail in the rest of it, so I might just like only have the highlights up here. There's really nowhere. I could put it on the what's it called? The leather jacket. But leather. I don't really have. It's reflective. It has a lot of reflections on it. That's how I do the leather jackets. You can kind of see the like the difference. Like this is like more of a so you can see the whole design, and this is like very more artistically. You can't see his face. I think it's good. What the hell? Was Oh, no. Why? What the hell? Oh, oops. Okay, no. Hit quick mask. Hit Q, it goes to quick mask, and it just highlights everything you can't pick anymore. It's very annoying. One second. Okay. Oh, oh, oops. So I think right now I'm what? Come on. Okay. So right now I'm trying to just figure out a good balance between light and dark. Like 70-30 typically. 70% light, 30% dark, or 30% light, 70% dark. I think I think I might go with 70% dark. I think I might have to. Yeah, okay, we're gonna do that. Okay. Not like this guy's shadow. You can use cast shadows to show form as well. I might actually bring this back. Yeah, make sure you follow the look though. The form. Sorry. Maybe add some shading to this. This will be like the most complicated shading. What I don't want is like 50-50 shading. Like if I try to like think about this scientifically, it's gonna end up 50-50 shading, and I don't want that. It looks like a mess. It's what it's starting to look like right here, actually. I think yeah, I think I'm gonna just I don't need this. It doesn't unify with the rest of the piece, so oh, another thing, like another general tip is just to combine your shadows. Don't make too many isolated shadows. You know, if you combine them together, they end up looking good. And think about it as like one value, one shadow value, one like grayscale, and then you can talk about some subtlety to it. So I think like right here, I don't want it to come out yet. I want it to come out like around here. So like the light's coming in, and let me get this, and let me get this shaded. Actually, no, let's not. Let's just shade it. It's gonna be cold, so I'm gonna make this really cold. I'm gonna make it purple. Purple looks good. Like that. No, it's kind of getting like cut in half. Oh, right here. So like the composition's kind of doing this. It does look cool though. It does make him look unique. How do I do this? Let's try something. Let's try to get this out and like, does that create like an overlap? So obviously the major thing looks okay. Let me see. Ah, I'll keep it for now. It looks okay. The effect isn't quite there, but it looks okay. What can I do here now? Mm-hmm. What I do like about this design is that when you he has these Popeye arms, basically, and the sleeve has this big like loop around him, so it creates this like deep cave of a shadow, and it highlights his hands. You can use it to highlight his hands. Da, 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 da. This problem is like you can do this, but because I'm using like line work and cell shading, like it can be hard to make these lighting effects. I really have to focus on the light and shadow and not have much else. Let me think about all of this. Okay. And okay. We can like try to cheat this here and have him, even though like it doesn't really like he can, yeah, you can have this. You can have this right here. And yeah, there's gonna be some shadows over here anyway. So it's when I say like don't isolate your shadows, is like don't do like this or something like this all the time, and then that like again just like combine them even here. So I'm gonna like try and combine them here because you know actually like you're trying to create like these shadow shapes here and shapes that look like that are like a little weird. So if you combine them into one, somehow, and make them a lot more simple, like it will start to look a little better. This doesn't look like anything, but like the shape looks a little better. I might even simplify it even like that. and take out these weird things. Like do something like that. Then I can add to here, and like that could be something somewhere. You know? You zoom in, you have so many problems. So you have to think of like a painting like that. It's a bunch of these shapes. I'm not quite good at it yet, but that is the idea. Like right here, I think maybe I can just do that. Just have a big shadow that his neck, which is what his neck is. I don't want to like, this isn't final, so I'm not gonna sit here and make it final. So I might just leave some of these like details out. And we're starting to get the effect, but it's not quite there, is it? All right, let me get the freaking mohawk. Let's get your mohawk in here. All right. You know what? Oh yeah, I'll just leave that there. I want like a 1, 2, 3 situation. So we'll have like big, medium, small. Maybe small is this. That could be small. And yeah, this shouldn't be. Should be like this. It should be like this actually. That's how it should look. Yeah, it should be more like it. People are gonna be looking at the eye area, so. So like I can do it like this. I'm not sure I'm gonna sell this. Like nah. That's gotta go. And also this red isn't working, so we're going to put this back to what it was. There you go. That's better. Let's saturate his head. And warm it up slightly. Don't want it to be too orange. I like the shape of the mohawk. It's how it's stylized. I don't like this. I don't like that. I think I might like cheat that, just make it bigger. Oh. I might just cheat that and make it bigger. So it like combines all the way over there. I also might re-look at this situation so there's not this thing over here. Who knows? Or I might make this part even bigger. I can move this over here. A lot of things you can do, but this is like how you kind of, when the illustration is generally done, right? When it looks like that, like it's generally, this is like level 1, and then you have to figure out the rest of it. Like anything's up for grabs. Like a little change here to this strap and how it moves, and like maybe it doesn't flow as well. Like maybe I would like to try that, or maybe I try this, or maybe I try this thing, and that looks a little better, or maybe I even try that, but that might compete with this. So this sort of thing is like up for grabs at this stage, but you have the foundation there. Like you know what concept you're going for. Like this guy's coming at you. So it's the couple of problems. I might have to deal with like subtle atmospherics as well, because I want him to be coming at you. Um, so I have to find some other way to do that. What's probably gonna happen is I'm going to lighten everything in the back way hard. So I might do that. I might do like there'll be a rim light, but like the rim light will be over here, and like that might carve out everything in front of this will be lighter than it. So that will like carve out all my stuff. That like will bring the rest of him forward, so like even here. And it might like kill a bunch of detail and stuff. Hmm. The more I look at that, I don't like it. Hmm. You know, I might do like different color lights instead of just yellow. Who knows? Yeah, the rim light would make sense over here, so you can see the character a little better. Let's make that a different color. Let's go with like this one will be like we already have red. We can have blue. So like, we can have like a very unnatural light here. Let's try teal and make it lighter. But clearly it's not like a bright white light. It's like a colored light. Right. Okay, so here. So there'll be like another light over here, and that will be like just giving him a lot of stuff. Actually, yeah. Yeah. I mean, blue might be a little low energy, so I might go with like a hotter one. I don't know if I want it on his face though. I don't want it like that deep. It's like, it depends. You might not be able to see him. Yeah, maybe. That's a little bit better. It gives him like more of a. You know, I might just do like it just doesn't show up on the top here. Like it's all on the bottom, coming up at him to preserve this sort of like look here, this harsh look. Oh, you know what I can do? There's the cat shadow right here I can use because I don't really like this shadow shape. It gives him like a really sharp cut inside this area. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look good. We can keep doing this. See, it's starting to get a little too dark shadowed. I need to like think about a better one. Maybe like this. Like an actual shape we use. He also has a tattoo. Um, I don't like this tangent. Ugh. This is gonna be a hard way of like shadow shapes and light shapes. This is also turned away from the light. So like it's gonna be like 70% darkness. Uh, okay. Okay. Oh, gotta go. But we'll check out your line art video later. Thank you. Hope you like it. Okay, let's see what else we got. See, this is the struggle. I usually do this off stream. So I guess I don't actually like cleaning up. This thinking part is a lot better for me. So I guess I should be doing this on stream. I have more energy while doing this. Cleaning up, like, especially animation, is really hard, really draining for me. Let me see. Let's see what I do with the other ones. Yeah. It's also a lot closer to the original, like, colors. Hmm. Looking for a song. Um, An hour and 30 minutes. I'll take a break in a second. There's also some atmospherics I want to deal with. Okay. I might have to like look at this later. I've been staring at this too long. Yeah, I think that's also. I really gotta like lock into that 70-30 split. No, I just like, fuck it. Right? Yeah. Just have to pick a focus, and the focus is like the head area. And I gotta make sure nothing distracts from that. Okay, I think this looks a little better. I have to like really work on this to make sure it like looks okay. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. Just I'll work on that shape. I'm gonna pull focus to the guitar as well. Guitars doesn't have a lot of detail. It's a guitar, so I think it used to be. It was a white. I think it's black now. Luckily, I have a. It's not. It's not at all. It's this. Oh no, it's gonna take forever. Cancel. Where is a air hit? There we go. So it looks like that. I gave him gloves. The design changed quite a bit from where I used to be. So like you see how we basically are left with just about three values to create an effect. Light, shadow, highlight, or halftone, I guess. Okay. Now we're back to what we got. Okay. And oh, right, shadow. Oh no, it doesn't have that shadow over there. Shadow's like over here. Okay. So no more. More right here. Alright. Ow, ow, ow. Excuse me. Alrighty. That's starting to look pretty good. The colors get a little better. The guitar's bigger though. Like it's pretty big. Even though he's a giant as well. But the guitar's big. I might change this as well. The color of the jacket. I want a little more saturated, and I want a little more, I have to be warm because it's a warm color. Yeah, there you go. So much of this was this dark black color, and it was like this very neutral. Here, I'll change this. So that's a change. It's warmer. It's cooler. It's desaturated. That's grayer. This is a warmer sort of shade. So it looks like there's a warm light on it. Oh, right, here's a gun. Keep forgetting about his gun. Uh, I'll deal with that later. It's not that big a deal. Hmm. Well, that was that. Um. Hmm. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I gotta figure out how to make this like. Oh, right. Also, this like this yellow is not warm enough. There you go. That's better. It looks the colors unify a little more. The shadow doesn't look good now though. Shadow's like very green, so I'm gonna. It should be much colder. Yeah, so this is a little better. It's artistic, but it looks better. It's gonna look really weird with all the green on it, though. Now, this looks so different from all this. Looks cool, though. You know, it looks cool, so I'm okay with it. Unity is not as good as looking cool. Yeah, okay, I'll take a break now. Studio mode. Be right back. Sources starting and Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna mess with this. Oh, yeah, you can really see it a little bit. Okay, it's a little better. All right. Excuse me. God. Okay. Let's get some highlights on the hair. Mohawk. Nope. Something's wrong with that color. Not desaturated enough. Okay. This also isn't red. His sort of head thing here isn't red. It's like shaved. Okay, that's a little better. And now I gotta. Let's warm this up. Okay, now. Nope, that's weird. That was weird. Slightly change colors. Yeah, don't like really extreme change colors. It'll. I mean, you can, if you can make the colors work, but typically they're not going to be that big a change. Hmm. Oh right. Okay. Let's saturate this a bit to make it closer to the correct color. a little better. Oh, I forgot. He has like a thing. He has like an actual like hat, not hat thing, hair right here. So like I can do something with it. Um, Maybe I should do something with like the guitar strings. Like I should like make all of them. Hmm. Hmm. So that part of the guitar is like way too small. Honestly, both part of the guitar is way too small. I guess it doesn't really matter if I increase this one back down here. I don't like this color, so I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go until I'm not used to streaming anymore, so I'm gonna go until maybe 9. Not 9. Not 9. Like 9:30. Okay, let me see. I forgot his spikes. This is pretty big. Mm. I'm gonna have to get some anatomy done a little bit better on this as well. That's fine. Like for like his this right here. That shouldn't be like that. Um, this teal color, I don't like it. I want a different one. Should it be red? This is when we just start selecting and use our hue saturation. Just to check. I mean, I guess green makes sense. He's red. Yeah, that's a little better. Like, you get some, like, actual pop to this. Hmm. And I've lost a lot of steam taking that break. Yeah. Hmm. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Let's try the other. Let's try the other side. Let's try. I want to try some like. So the way it's gonna work, way I usually think about all this stuff, is you want to like show. Typically, you can have three sides, right? I'll make that a little better. In this, so like you'll have three sides, right? So you'll have all right. So you'll have your like one side, and we'll make it orange. This warm gray color orange. No, I can deal with it. I can deal with this. I can do this. Okay. So you have this orange color, and then on one side you'd like try to show each side of it, each side of the cube when you want to light something. So one side will have the shadow, right? So let's say that's a shadow. One side will have the light, and we'll say this has a light up here. And then one side will have the highlight, and we'll say the highlight's like this middle part right here. So that's a highlight. Now, there's a couple ways you could do this. We have this background, so we'll say that the background's right now the background's this gray color, so that's fine. So uh say let's make the background blue so we can contrast it actually. Okay, so now we have blue background. Now we're gonna see the whole thing, but you know that sort of like this whole area is kind of getting lost. And you can't really see the shape of it, so I'm gonna like bring in the background. I'm gonna make it like sort of atmospheric. Okay. So we're like gonna try to bring in a little bit of the background here, so we can like lighten it up. And we'll just pull it the whole way, right? So now we can see the whole thing. And say we want to like push it off from the background even more, we can add like a rim light. And typically that rim light is going to be like in the opposite direction. So the light's coming in through here. The rim light would be coming in through there. That's if we want to like show more of the shape of this thing. So like if I go in and like remove this now. And that color, this highlight and this rim light is going to be a little different. So I'm going to make this highlight actually orange and lighter, or like darker. So actually, yeah. So now the rim light, you can actually see it. And that's kind of, it's like a standard way, I guess, of showing this stuff. Or a more standard way. But that's if you want to show every side pretty well. It's like if you want some things to just fade into darkness, or try something else. Like here in this case, we'll also like blue up. Like if there's just like a lot of blue, I can like just add some more here. Like really, if I really wanted to, but like the rim light's gonna get in the way, and it depends. I could do this, and then I could like really bump up even more. I can exaggerate this like reflectivity at the very edge. Get rid of this rim light. Even though that would be a lot lighter as well. Not that light, but you get the idea. Up here, I don't know why I'm doing this, but like even more, this would also get slightly more reflective when it gets back there. So like, okay. It's like I wanted to show every single side of this cube, And then you can also do it over here, so like why not? You just got this, and we just like have this. How much do you want to show? Atmospheric stuff like that. Like this would be like it's kind of fading into the background. It's farthest away from the camera, so like it's the sharpest angle to the camera, so it's like kind of fading out with heavy atmospherics. You can also then add like, what do you want to add? You want to add like reflected light onto this as well. Like it gets complicated if you want to like also add the reflected light coming up from down here. It depends on what you want it to look like. I think that will look fine for like an orange block. I have to change the color here, but something like that. Yeah, I don't know. But that's kind of what I'm doing here. I need to add more. I need to add like a reflection, like some atmosphere. Like, what is the atmosphere here? I'm playing yellow. Yellow, I guess. I guess that counts as atmosphere. But typically, I always have blue. Blue is just normal because the atmosphere is blue. So you'll typically have that. This is like just gray is not great for like line work anime. You really gotta get your art direction right for gray. Um, so maybe like okay. Well, this is like more reflective, and I think right back here I made, yeah, I just gave it like green, blue, whatever it is. So I think maybe you know what else? There's also like light gonna be when it's light this harsh, it's gonna come in here and then reflect back out here. So I think you'll have like this large ring right out here. I want that more yellow. That is more gray. You know, less gray, more saturated. There we go. Because like this is a leather jacket, so leather jackets are reflective, so that's what I'm gonna do here. Mm. It's a little bright now. Okay, that's a little bright. It's kind of messing with the actual color of the. Yeah, so I'll push it back into the deep dark. And it wouldn't be back there. It'd be up here. I might actually, like, should I pull up this whole thing? Make it like, maybe. Starts to speak about the material. And I'm tired. This thing is made of. Okay, let's see. Hmm. Sorry, I'm not used to streaming anymore. Like, man, if I don't like stick on it, I can't. I can't keep the energy up. This also doesn't help that I have to think a lot for this particular step before I clean it up. I might even like the light, the green light over here is so overpowering. I can like start changing the colors in here. And instead of like, you know, what I did up in that square where I like actually brought the color in, I think this one we can like for cell shading you can do like basic actually changing the colors towards green. Because that's what like the light does. So the whole color here. I'm gonna change. It's like actually that's too bright. We're going to darken it a bit. There we go. It's gonna be a little more complicated. I will add like secondary shadows. I think I add them here. Yeah, so you see like right there. with like there's something very inside, like AO you could say. It's really like just second shadow. Like I can add it here. Really dark, really warm, really saturated. That okay? That's getting out of the color range though. So like right there, just to carve out that face, just the head, right? Something like that. You can really pushes the head out. Okay. Excuse me. Trying to see how this guitar would work. I need to like put way more detail in the guitar because in the like where's it? Like here, I'm not gonna start drawing all the details of a guitar, especially at this distance. It's gonna like at this distance. Like you already don't see jack shit over here, so I have to like find a guitar, find the guitar I'm using, and then um guitar, electric guitar. This was it. I want to make the guitar reflective as well, so I can add a bunch of reflections to it. That's gonna take a second to put all the details in now. So right now I'm gonna put all the actual details in. If I can get a good picture of one. Guitar, electric guitar. Needs to be way bigger. What am I doing? Way bigger. Come on, way bigger. Um, that green is a little too much. Um, let's get to the. I'll add like a trim to it. Yeah, I can add a trim to it. Just looking for like details. Any details. Yeah, so it's nailed in. Um, um, all right, more guitar stuff. So I don't know anything about guitars. I really should get on that. I should figure this out. Okay. So I think the amp is down here. Let me draw through a little bit so I can get into it. Okay, here. I don't think it goes that far down actually. The big amp thing does go that far. Oh right. Okay, a little higher. All right. So I gotta add more details to guitar. Look like an actual guitar. A lot of this is gonna be added like in the actual, what's it called? The actual drawing. Not so much here. The line work is gonna be a big part of this. So I'm gonna. Okay, we got this, and we gotta add all the actual frets here. I think these are what those are called. I don't actually no, that's not fretboard. Whatever these are, guides, the guides. Then we're gonna add. I gotta figure out how guitars work. I gotta do this. What's the top of the guitar look like? Okay. I guess there's really not much different up here. There's like a lot of like detailing, wood detailing on top of this. I should actually make that, yeah, I should make these bigger on this so you can actually see it. It's a way to exaggerate character design. You just make things a lot bigger, a lot thicker. In real life, it would look like a toy, but when you're looking at it as a drawing, it will look really interesting. Like, especially from back here. You might not even be able to see it from back here in a drawing, even though in real life you can clock it pretty easily. I should give it a name. Type of guitar. This 6-string guitar. So this. A lot of subtleties to mechanical design. You gotta make sure you get everything right. Um, okay. Um, Draco, thank you. This is really cool stuff. Yeah, this is a illustration for a game. This is like what this another character in the game has an illustration. So, this is a character select illustration. So this is yeah, when you get to the character select, you get here, and I'm just finalizing everything before I actually finish drawing it. Um, the colors and the details. So characters like portrait, I guess it's called, even though it's not really a portrait. Yeah, let's see. Mm, American flag. He has the American flag on his lapel here. 1, 2. I don't know if it's called lapel. But I'm gonna call it that. So. Love the designs. Thank you. I like these designs too. Fine. It's something I wanted to do for a little while. I got a little tired of the designs I was seeing, so I was like, I'm gonna make exciting ones. And I just decided just to completely indulge in my own game, my own characters, my own art style. So sad skeleton. This guy got quite a few details on his jacket. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that too. Yep. You get it. You get it. Um, yeah, I think that's all so far. I mean, I got all my. Oh wait, tuning. I'm in the right. Yeah, tuning up here. Okay, but it has to like be coordinated, so I have to make sure. Actual tuning, actually. It's just underneath, and it's backwards. That's the line's got to lead in. Evenly spread throughout this. This is an annoying thing about mechanical detail. You have to be right every time. So this, I just need this here, 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 that there. Um, hmm. It's gonna, okay, I think it's gonna take me a while to respond to YouTube because I think that might be a problem. I think the way Restream is set up, it's like delaying YouTube and not Twitch. I should probably just make YouTube the main one. All right, so I think I'm gonna add more detail to this. This jacket needs to be like more realistic. So I think I'm gonna make this like move as well. So I'm gonna have to move quite a bit of this. Go away. You as well. We are closely entering the area where I have nothing left to do. And I have to like go to actually drawing this out. I want. I'm gonna add a little more. I don't know. The guitar is humongous, like in the actual game. I think the neck of the guitar is very big, so I think I'm gonna. Hmm. Well, I guess I can just make it bigger. I don't see why not. Don't know why I was hanging up on that. Actually, I can just like do this all the way up. Okay. Yoink, 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 yoink. Just a lot of this. Just a lot of this. That's a little better. The composition looks a little better as well. What's reference? I don't need that. I don't need that. You know what? Sure, whatever. It's not that big a deal on my computer. Alrighty. No, I think the last thing I'm gonna do right now is gonna just color all this in so I can take a look at it. So just real quick, so I can just take a look at all of this. Mm-hmm. Quite a bit better. I need like more. No, it's fine. It's fine. I think I can work with this once I actually draw it. That neck, guitar neck might be a little long, but I can change that. But I want to I need to do something that gives it more energy because he's like I'm also losing the eyes, so I don't have the energy of that. Because like a big thing here is that she's like dead-eyed staring right at you, and her eyes are orange, so they're very high contrast. And here you can't even see them. So I gotta pump this up somehow. We'll see. It's really the guitar's front and center here, so it's got to be detailed as well. Hmm. But I think that's hmm. So I like this, and it's complemented with that. That's good. And you have this with and this sort of thing going on here. You have like a alternate move, so they want to go down and this wants to go up. So it kind of does like a yin yang situation. Okay, well, anyway. Okay, I'll be streaming more, so I'm just not used to streaming for hours and hours like I used to. But where's my okay. Da, 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 da. Okay, so I got a new video out on the channel. I also got a for this is for like if animating one of these. So not this frame, but a different one in this animation. I guess I can just show you. I don't know why. So it's animated. It's just drawing this one. Right now it's a line work just to get the line work on this drawing in. Yeah. I've been seeing them around, but this was the first time I've been able to drop by. Hey man, thanks for dropping by. Like I'll be here tomorrow. Pretty much same time. And I hope to see you then as well. Um but yeah, I got some videos I about animating this one drawing right here. And then the next video will be about coloring it. I also got an experience from MomoCon last year because I never actually finished editing the vlog, but now it's done, and I'll talk about MomoCon this year later. But yeah, I'll see all y'all um, later.